Yo, welcome to the Fight Song Podcast, where we're talking to the scene about their team. That is the best I could come up with today, unfortunately. But today we got a very special inaugural episode with Jake Cruz, drummer for glitchy, noisy, mathy punk band Circuit from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We talk about everything from their recent tour, the mishaps, playing in a laundromat, pro wrestling, Nashville Predators kind of shit in the bed in the playoffs this year. Pretty much a bummer, but thank you for tuning in. He's a good friend of mine. Hope you get to know some cool stuff about him today. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to Fight Song.
Fight!
All right, I'm recording.
I'm gonna turn the click off. I don't need click.
Same.
Bet.
All right. Have you ever done this before?
Not a Zoom podcast, no. But I've done Zoom shit before. I did a show on Zoom, like right at the beginning of quarantine, with like a bunch of like SoundCloud rappers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I know what you mean. I did the same thing for some like Instagram account quarantine thing that somebody at Belmont did.
Oh, geez.
And because I was desperate and in quarantine, I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, sure.
And then they like gave me the login. I went live and played like some really crappy songs that I wrote. I probably covered some Switchfoot song too or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, well, let's get to it, shall we?
Yes,
I
sir.
got some stuff. I made a script and everything.
Okay, sick.
So I could be prepared. All right. So, here you are, Jake. Circuit and Blemish, right? Any others?
Yes, sir.
Any other bands?
Circuit, Blemish, and then from Atlanta, or back in Atlanta, I was on a, there we go. I was on a, I played in a band called Drowning Lessons, and I also played in a band called Ammonia Wash. But now that I'm in Tennessee, yeah, it's mainly, okay, I'm going to take this fucking mask off. I thought it would be funny. Yeah, no, I mainly just focus on Circuit and Blemish now.
Yeah.
But yeah, at one time I was in like 4 bands.
Right on. I think my max at one time is 2. And one of them, the other one pretty much at all times is just me and one other person.
Yeah.
In high school, it was me playing guitar and yelling, and then a drummer.
Sick.
And we actually played like 5 shows. We sounded terrible, but the riffs were cool. Which I'm sure you were used to now that you're done with tour. Bands sounding terrible, but maybe their riffs were cool.
Yeah, no, I mean there were some shows where I couldn't hear shit, and but then there were some other ones that sounded pretty like well mixed. Like we played this one place in Rochester called the Bug Jar, and they had a pretty good mix. The people who were running it were sus as hell, but like the mix was nice. It was cool.
Nice. That's good.
But yeah, but then we also played like a laundromat, and like
I saw that. What was that all about?
That was in Ohio. Like Ohio's not real, dude. Like I don't even know. Like we got there and it was like this. So like you had the laundromat part, and it was like dusty as hell. But like people were just in there doing their laundry, and then like right next to it, like in the other room, was this like just this open space where they had bands play, and then they had a bar, and like
In the laundromat.
yeah, and so like
Interesting.
we like got drinks. We had laundry to do, so we got drinks and we did laundry, and then we
Genius.
played a show, like all in the same place. And I was miserable that day because we had been staying at Bennett's house, and his parents like have a cat, like a really hairy, furry cat, and I am allergic to cats.
Bennett, the bassist of Circuit.
Yes, but yeah.
A real homie.
For real. Yeah, no, we stayed like 2 nights at his house, at his parents' house. And yeah, their cat was just had my nose acting up. And then we go to this dusty ass laundromat, and I'm just like
In Ohio.
ugh. And then
Recipe for disaster.
yeah, but then I'm just like, oh, well, how about I just walk over to this gas station next door and see if they have any Dayquil. Lo and behold, they had some Dayquil. Pop a couple of them, and yeah, no, I was all good. Acetaminophen, that is the key to life.
Pseudoephedrine.
Yes, but
That,
no, dude,
that helps me out.
I had a great time on tour. Like, despite the terrible beginning and ending, the middle part was fun.
Yeah, so, okay. Funniest part about your tour beginning, from my understanding, you play Morgantown, Kentucky,
Yeah.
right? And you're driving north, and your van breaks down.
So
Something like that. Funniest part to me was the guy from Fall 50 Feet tweeting at y'all like, "Hey, you buy this piece of crap van, you better go get it checked out by a mechanic." That was a month ago.
And that was the one thing that we
And he-
didn't do. We did everything else.
And then he replied to y'all's tweet about like, "Oh, we might not be able to make it to Louisville
Yep.
tonight," with his own tweet. I
Yep.
thought that was so good.
Yep. And then we stayed at his place, and he just continued to roast us. But yeah, so before we even took off to go to Kentucky, the van started sounding weird, and we were like, oh shit. And so we go and get it checked out. There was literally just like a pebble like stuck in something, and they just like took a hammer and hit it, and they were like, okay, you're good. And
You took it somewhere?
yeah, like we took it somewhere like super quick, and we still had time to like make the Morgantown show. And we go up there, and
Is
we
that
make
venue
it,
cool? Is it 127 cool?
It's super cool. It's
Okay.
Morgantown is kind of a like it's not a big city.
It's a real
like,
doozy.
Like it's a city, but there was like no one on the street. There was like a Jeep meetup like right across the street, and like we tried to get them
Tight.
to come, but they just like wouldn't. It sucked. But no,
I think we had a show booked there. It was probably with Purity before we were like, yeah, I got a job. I can't do that.
rip.
Because we were, you know, we were supposed to tour with them, right?
Yeah.
I think we were. Like, me and Joseph were working on booking the whole thing, and then, you know, we graduated, and I got a full-time job, and I was like, okay,
You got a big boy job.
just kidding, I can't do that. But that's good to
Yeah.
hear that it's sweet.
Yeah, no, it's made out of like an old bank and like converted into a venue, and they have like super cool lights and fog machines and stuff. But yeah, we played there to like one guy and like all the bands, and it was a good little warm up. And then
Sure.
we got up the next day, and we were getting ready to go, and yeah, we're like halfway to Louisville, and the van just turns off, and we're like, oh shit. And yeah, we're on like a 2-lane highway, and there's no shoulder, and we're just like stopped in the middle of the road, like van and a trailer.
Jeez.
And so we're having to like get out and like direct traffic, and then we're also like waiting on AAA to come and get us out of here. And then the AAA guy comes, and we also accidentally spilled all the oil out of the van because we thought it might have been like, well, like it was a mixture of two things.
Intentionally?
It was a mixture of two things. It was the alternator that blew up,
Sure.
but then we also overfilled the oil, and the combination of those two, it just like fucked the van. And
Doesn't sound good, yeah.
We tried to empty a little bit of the oil, but we didn't wait until it cooled down to empty it. So, you can see what happens next, and so we can't just like cap it back up because it's like 200 degrees, and so it just all falls out, and we just got a big old oil slick there. And so the AAA guy comes and he's just like not talking to us or whatever. It was like he was just like, oh, these fucking kids, man, like. And so he gets the van, but then we have to wait on the AAA guy that has like the oil shit to cover up the oil, and then we had to get the trailer picked up. Shout out to Mike's parents. Mike's parents literally were
Mike.
Shout out Mike and Mike's parents. They literally saved this tour. They took us back. They took the trailer, and they housed us while we devised a plan to pick this tour back up. We did. We got a rental.
'Cause I saw pictures of y'all in a van. You rented?
Yeah, we realized that right now owning a van is probably not the move. Like rental is.
I had the same thought. My biggest concern with like another stressor on me whenever us and Purity were trying to book, tour through June was like, okay, there's 4 of us. All of our gear is same as y'all, and was terrified of renting because of how expensive it could be, but also terrified of buying some piece of crap and then A, being stuck with it at all, and then B, breaking down on the side of the road and spilling all the gas into the wildlife Kentucky.
Yep. But no, we definitely learned a lot from that. But we were able to pick it up with a rental van and a sedan, and the sedan just like carried like half of us and our luggage, while the van carried like all our gear. And we got to hit Chicago. Chicago was dope. Like,
packed out.
We played at this place called the Albion House, and it was this like super like grimy basement. Like take the Brat Cave and Crossroads and merge them together, and that's the Albion House, because it was just
terrifying thought.
There was just like graffiti all over the place. Like the ceiling was so low, I had to like duck like just to like walk through, and but like it was super sick. Like packed it out.
That sounds very similar. Like 3 years ago, and this like emo punk basement ripoff band that I started.
Yeah.
Our best show we played was a Halloween show, Halloween 2019, in our guitarist basement. Super low ceiling.
Yep.
No one could stand up straight. Dirt all over the floor, and everyone was losing their minds.
Yep. That's
so
how it
good.
is.
Those are the best shows.
No, that shit was dope. We played with Blind Equation and Thought Crime, and those are our homies. And then went from there. We didn't have a Wisconsin date, so we got to spend like a day in Chicago and like go and do a bunch of touristy stuff. Like we went to downtown and saw the Big Bean and like all the cool monuments and stuff. Me and Mike went to a bookstore, and we both bought the last 2 copies of American Psycho. So
I think I saw a picture of y'all reading that.
Yeah, so that's what I was reading on tour. But yeah, we picked it up, and we were playing some cool shows. I mean, the sets were good. Crowds varied, but like I was not disappointed at all, just because like this was my first time like ever doing this ever. Mm-hmm. And just the fact that like that like every night we had at least like a few people buy a shirt, and like
That's pretty cool.
And like gained a few new listeners like that. That was super cool. And just
then you all caught COVID and had to go home.
Yeah, and then we all caught COVID. But nah, dude, I mean,
So
I had a great time.
how many dates did you miss? Chat in Nashville?
Yeah, we were 6 for 14.
14.
We had booked a 2-weeker, and then 2 of them got dropped before we even started the tour.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we had to drop Atlanta and the Wisconsin dates before tour, and then we had to drop the 2 after Morgantown because of we've just called it a redacted now. Like, that's the name of the van, is just redacted. And then the last 2 because of the virus. But both of those things were like shit that was just like not really in our control. We didn't like do any of this shit on purpose. It was just like, like, especially with COVID, like we already knew that was gonna be like a potential factor, like, going into it, because we're still technically in a pandemic.
Correct. But granted, your first tour, having at least a handful of shows with super genuine positive reaction and crowd interaction and stuff, that must be super sick.
Yeah, no, like, I could tell that I was on tour, because like by day 4, I was just like, I was out of it, like, because it was literally just this, like, wake up, breakfast, leave, pull up to venue, set up, play, eat, go back to wherever you're staying, wake up, do it all over again. Like, there was really, like, hardly any time to really decompress other than those, like, off days that we had. And we were actually, like, very very glad for those off days, because
that's cool. I've always wanted to go to Chicago.
Yeah, no, my dad's from like the Waukegan area, like the Metro Chicago area, but I had never been up there before. I had only been to like Rockford, Illinois, and stuff like that. So yeah, it was super cool to see all that and stuff. But now we're just gonna get this EP done and put it out. Right. And we'll see what happens from there. But
so I do want to ask you about Blemish, because I really don't know anything about it, but I know I've seen y'all's name on a show flyer or two. What's up with Blemish?
So Blemish, I first met those guys, I think it was last year. They were one of the last shows that I saw before the pandemic hit. They played a show with Bennett's band, Beginning. Yeah, and I saw their last show with their like old drummer, and not really going to go into detail to what happened, but it was bad. And so their drummer,
no talent.
Yeah, their drummer left the band, and then prior to that all happening, like, I had followed them like all on like IG and stuff, and then Nick followed me back and saw that I was in Circuit, and then I was doing a bunch of drum stuff, and he hit me up and he was like, "Yo, let's just like go out and talk somewhere." And I was like, "Cool," and he asked me if I wanted to join, and I really dig the kind of like style that they're going for, that kind of just like new metal influenced hardcore stuff. I love that stuff. Like Deftones and 18 Visions and Slipknot and all that stuff. I eat all that shit up. And so like I was like, yeah, I can definitely add some swag to this. So yeah, I hopped on the ship, and then started playing shows with them about a year ago, Something like that.
Nice.
Because yeah, my first shows with Blemish were around the same time of my shows with Circuit. I think my first show with Blemish was like in July or something like that. It was like an outdoor gig. It was so fun. But yeah, I hopped on ship with them, and they're all like from Nashville, and so it is a little bit of a commute for me. But they're super chill dudes to play with, and we've got an EP that we're about to put out, hopefully within the next month.
Nice.
It's
maybe
almost
by the
done.
time this airs. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
find
not
out.
gonna reveal the name yet, just because we haven't discussed it. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
it should be out soon though.
Sweet. One other music thing before we move on for a second.
Okay.
Shout out some bands from tour that y'all. Yeah, shout out some bands from tour.
Okay. First and foremost, shout out PS You're Dead. Hashtag Dance Violence Gang. Those are our fucking homies. We got to play with them in New York, and they were super cool. And we have been in the talks about a potential collaboration soon. So shout out PS You're
Nice.
Dead.
Circuit Split.
I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah,
That'd be sick. All right.
Yeah. That would be sick. Who else? Shout out Blind Equation. Shout out Thought Crime. Shout out Fragments of Joy. Lint Roller. Lint Roller was crazy.
It's a hard name.
They weren't even like a real band, and
Yeah, that's mean.
They had a vacuum cleaner like as a member. Like they
I saw a
literally
video of
mic'd-
that. That was at the laundromat, wasn't
Yes, they fucking mic'd up a vacuum cleaner, and yeah, it was really weird. But yeah, no, shout out Trustfall, Silithus, Tilted, Black Matter Device,
Trustfall's sick.
Achilles Heel, obviously.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, all the homies, all the guys. Yeah, they were all super sick.
Dope. All right. Other half of the Fight Song podcast. Where are you from, and what got you into sports?
Okay, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, originally, and my dad was kind of the one that got me into sports in the first place. Like, he was a big basketball and baseball guy when I was growing up, and I got into t-ball when I was like a toddler and played baseball like all the way up until I was like 12. I sucked at it. I sucked, dude. I had maybe 5 RBIs and like
Dude, when I played
a few
freaking
outs.
T-ball, I was out in the outfield
Yep.
and left outfield,
Picking grass.
sitting on the ground, picking flowers, making shapes in the dirt.
Yep, blowing bubbles.
Because it was first grade T-ball, and they can't hit the ball further than about 10 yards.
Yep.
So I relate, or third base, literally sitting down at third base while the game's going on.
Yeah.
I know, I feel you.
But yeah, no, I got all the way to Pony League before I quit, and it was more or less just like I didn't really feel like my heart was into it, like as much as I was into like music and other things. But yeah, and then I also went to one of those big like after school places where it's just like a bunch of kids go and they have a bunch of like video games and a playground and all this stuff, and then they just wait for like their parents to come pick them up and shit. Yeah, I went to daycare, I guess. Daycare.
There you go.
But yeah, I'd play soccer and like football and dodgeball with those guys all the time, and then I watched a lot of wrestling. And
There you go. That's your main squeeze, right?
That is my main squeeze right there. Like I got into wrestling when I was like 6, and I saw Batista, and I was like, that is prime male. That is the prime man right there. He's
So
sick.
I know like little to nothing about pro wrestling. Pretty much all I would know about it would be through like the Pat McAfee show, because I know he's been on
an announcer
WrestleMania.
now. Yeah.
And I know the only names, I wrote down all the names that I could remember. Austin Theory, because of Pat McAfee.
Yep.
The Every Time I Die guitarist.
The Butcher.
There you go. Brody King from God's Hate.
Brody, yeah.
And then like Undertaker, John Cena, and what? Mr. Stone Cold himself. Who I guess if I had to choose, I can't get into it. But if I had to choose, it'd probably be Stone Cold.
Stone Cold is the GOAT. Stone Cold is the fucking GOAT. Like he.
Oh wait. Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar is
That guy might be number one actually, because he's so funny.
He's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah. No. I like Brock Lesnar's like current gimmick right now, where like they're actually letting him talk, because because now like everybody else is realizing,
he like the old experienced guy now?
Well,
Who can still beat everybody's ass?
Yeah, I mean he started pro wrestling in 2002. Prior to that, he played NCAA football, and I think he was also an NCAA wrestler. And so like
that's right.
He did like real wrestling, and then he got into pro wrestling.
Wait, what do you mean real wrestling?
When real wrestling, like amateur wrestling, like
So-
you're on a mat and you
So pro
grapple.
wrestling isn't real, is what you're saying?
Pro wrestling is fixed. Pro wrestling is choreographed. But it's still real to me, damn it. But
Right.
nah,
that was a terrible joke on my part.
yeah, no, you're good. But nah, yeah, he joined WWE in like 2002, and then left, I think in like 2005 or 2006, and then he was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go fight for real and beat dudes up for real.
I remember that because everyone was like, "Oh, is this guy for real?"
And then he fucking won the whole thing. He won the whole
Destroyed.
thing. Like, he's the guy.
I watched some videos of that, like, I don't know, a few months ago, because he was on Pat McAfee and like destroyed their desk as a joke. Because he was like, "Hey, be careful, that desk is pretty small." And he goes, "Oh," and it just hits it and just explodes. And I think I went back and watched some of his like actual, wrestling or fighting videos, and it was like UFC stuff. It was brutal.
He is the beast. But no, Stone Cold is definitely up there for me, and so is Brock. But I would say like my top two are Jeff Hardy and CM Punk. CM Punk's actually how I found out about Straight Edge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and like I would say that for like a lot of kids my age, because like.
Really?
I didn't know what Straight Edge was like until I saw him, because like his original theme song, like when he came out, was This Fire by Killswitch Engage. And like
Nice.
I thought that was so sick. And then like but like it was so funny because like he was Straight Edge, but he was like the bad guy, like in WWE.
Really?
He's like
The
'cause,
heel?
like, yeah, because like the gimmick that he put on was like, I'm Straight Edge and I'm better than you. Like I am clean. And he had this whole faction called the Straight Edge Society, where like he was just kind of like this like straight edge messiah, and he would save people, but also was a tremendous wrestler and would beat up everyone. And I just thought that was so cool. And then all the way up until I was like 15, I was like, yeah, no, I'm Straight Edge. Like, yeah.
Well, that was me in high school. I don't remember how I found Straight Edge. Probably through some like spirit-filled hardcore band that had like X's in front of their names, or something. And I was like, what does that mean?
Minor Threat
I
was
like, yeah, dude, I'm Straight Edge when I was in high school. Came
Yeah.
to college, and then it was like, dude, I didn't know where to get liquor or weed or anything. I think
Yeah.
I was only asked one time in high school, like, hey, dude, we got a tequila bottle out back. It was like a prom. I was like, oh, I'm good, bro. That was about it.
I never went to a high school party, bro. I like
Skipped senior prom to go see like Currents, Ocean's 8 Alaska, and We Came as Romans in Austin. It was
That's
such a
hard.
good show. It was the tour right before Kyle died.
damn.
It was so good, man. That was like, yeah, the self-titled We Came as Romans album, absolute dog water. And then the album after was so good, and they put on such a good show. And
Oh,
then
I'm sure. I bet.
Then I was like, metalcore's not cool anymore.
Metalcore was never cool, but that's why I love it.
Until I started Vital Part, and then metalcore became cool again.
Yeah, for real.
So you not like a football guy, basketball at all?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Are you a
I
Falcons fan?
No, fucking Falcons, dude. Nah, man. Well, I'm curious about the Falcons now. Now that we don't have Matt Ryan anymore, I'm really
now
wondering.
That you don't have Matt Ryan anymore. He was holding you back.
Yes.
Think the Colts are gonna choke?
I do not like Matt Ryan, but
But y'all don't have anybody now. You have that big tight end.
Yeah,
that's about it. You have no one to throw to him.
No, yeah, I don't really know how it's gonna be, but no, my football team is the Bears. I love the Bears.
Shoot,
they also suck though. And then, but like I pay more attention to college football than I do the National Football League, just because like, I mean, for one, I'm in college, but like I was always like a huge Dogs fan. I love them Dogs, sick 'em. But
y'all won in was it 19? The national championship,
something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We were still in high school.
I think so.
17 maybe.
Maybe I can't remember. I want to say Chubb was still on the team.
That was a good time, dude. Y'all were ridiculous. I was definitely more into college.
Well, no.
When I was in high school, but when I came to college, I was like, okay, I'm going all in NFL, Cowboys. Here we go. And then, here I am still bummed about it.
Yeah, they were They were 21 national champions. Yeah.
21, yeah.
Yeah, so it was last year. Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Y'all played in it, though. You played Alabama.
Yeah, no.
In high school. I was rooting for you. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2017. Georgia played Bama, and I was rooting for Georgia. And then, of course,
fuck Bama.
That didn't work out.
Yeah. No, man. Like back when I was like little and I didn't know what college was, like I wanted to go to UGA so bad. Like I was like, I want to be a Bulldog. I want to be on the red coat marching band.
That was the same thing with me with Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't know anything else. I just grew up going to the games.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
God bless Patrick Mahomes for making it bearable at all
for real.
Go to Tech games.
And then as far as like basketball goes, I get a lot of my basketball stuff from the Sports Center Snapchat story.
Yeah.
I watch that every day, but I am definitely pulling for the Celtics. I have not watched any of the games.
I was about to ask. Game 6, I believe, is tonight.
Yeah.
When we're recording it, at least. Finals will be long over. Warriors win. It's all over. But you're pulling for Celtics?
I'm pulling for Celtics. I would like to see a Game 7.
Okay. Game 7 would be dope.
And but I also know about Game 6 Clay. So
yeah.
That
I would like for Steph to get another one just because I like him.
No, like he deserves it, honestly.
But
like
I always catch myself rooting for underdogs, so if the Celtics pull through, that'd be awesome, and I would absolutely tune into a Game 7. I think 6 is happening right now as we are
probably
speaking, but yeah.
And then for Stanley Cup,
Stanley Cup is going on right now. We
got have Avalanche
and the Lightning again.
Yeah. I want to see the Lightning lose, honestly. I just want to see like kind of like the underdog pull through and
also Avalanche they won Game 1. Sick.
Yeah, they're so sick. They're so hard.
I had it on yesterday. The first period was awesome. It was 3-1.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
like
I should have kept it on the whole time.
I watched their Western Conference, right?
Yes.
Yes. I watched them
Bro,
in the Western
Nashville
Conference.
was so pitiful. That's all we have to talk about.
So we have to
Let's
talk
move
about
on.
that. But yeah, no, I mean, I watched like a few of the games in the Western Conference Finals, and I've never seen like that many just like back-to-back scoring in hockey. Like it was just like one after the other
It
after
was
the other.
crazy. Well, granted, what was it? It was the Nashville series. I heard that our like starting goalie was injured like game or two before playoffs started, so we had this newbie in there, and that's why who was it? Was it Colorado scored like 7 points a game on us?
I wouldn't doubt
I don't
it.
remember.
I wouldn't doubt it.
remember because I blocked it out. Here we go. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, dope. All right. Well, shoot, we got out of the flow of it. We were talking about hockey though, and how disappointing the Preds were.
Yeah. I still have yet to go to a Preds game.
I think I've been to 3 or 4. They're dope.
I've been to Bridgetown.
It's a good time.
It's super
Yeah.
sick. No, I've only been to like NCHL games. Like there's an NCHL team in my county. They're called the Gladiators, and they're pretty sick. They've had some good seasons, but no, yeah, I still haven't been to an NBA game, nor have I been to an NHL game, nor have I been to NASCAR.
I was able to go to the Titans Houston game this last season. Birthday present.
Sick.
And dude, it was like, all right, yeah, let's go absolutely blast Houston, because I'm a Dallas fan, so anything from Houston, I'm like, all right,
Boo.
little brother, bad, terrible. So yeah, we roll up, and then the Titans get steamrolled by this terrible, awful team. I was like, man, that sucked. Otherwise, I think I went to a preseason Titans game and left after the third quarter because I didn't know anybody and it was boring.
I've seen the Titans play the Falcons, and they absolutely steamrolled the Falcons. Yeah, that was not a fun game, dude. Like, it's so crazy. So like Atlanta's got this new like arena, the Mercedes-Benz, and I don't think the Falcons have packed it out like once. But if there's like an Atlanta United game, it's sold out. Like everyone is there. Like soccer has kind of like been on the up and up recently, I feel.
Did you see Nashville just got rejected as a World Cup host city?
Really?
It was like this big thing that they were hoping they were going to have
not?
it at Nissan. And then they're like, no, we're going to have it at like, Miami, LA.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Atlanta was one or not. I wouldn't be surprised.
Atlanta would be cool, but nah, man, Nashville would be cool for the World Cup. Traffic would be unbearable. I-24 would be
As bad as it is, yes.
Yeah, like it would be even worse. But nah, man. Yeah, I haven't really gotten that much into real football, but I
can't do soccer, dude. I filmed like 2 or 3 games, Belmont games.
just fell asleep
last year. Filming them is fine because I have to pay attention the whole time, and I'm literally staring at the ball the whole time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, still never been to one. I'm sure it's cool, and it'd probably be a much better experience. But most people probably agree that watching soccer on television is unbearable.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like the World Cup or something like that, or like something that you're like betting on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to play. Like it's like it's kind of the same with like golf. Like it's fun to like actually like participate in, but like
I always figured it'd be kind of difficult because you're literally running around for
oh no, it sucks.
I don't know 2 hours or whatever.
No, but yeah, just like going to like the park that has like the goals and just like kicking around a ball for a little bit. That's always fun. But yeah, no, I don't know how like it. That's insane cardio. Like that's nah.
All right, well, let's plug some of your stuff.
Okay.
Before we call it quits. Circuit self-titled EP, Rages. I love how much attention y'all have gotten about that. And
Thank you.
It's pretty sick. Like I won't say I'm like surprised, but it's kind of neat to see like one of the more like abstract weird bands around here get hyped up. It's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah, appreciate that.
You're gonna have to hop in. Circuit EP, Blemish. Any shows either Circuit or other one?
Blemish next show is July 16th in Cookeville. I think it's at like a skate shop or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, next show for Blemish is the 16th of July. Next Circuit show is going to be Bad Fest at the End on August 27th, and that'll also be our 1 year and 1 day anniversary of being a live band. So that'll be fun. And then yeah,
The Vital Part is also playing Bad Fest.
Yes. And then
Can't wait.
Holy fuck, I don't know what my roommate's doing. He's acting a fool. But and then yeah, we're working on finishing the second EP for Circuit this year. Still can't say the name of it yet, but it's cool. Y'all,
is your manager not letting you say the name of it?
No, we are like ourselves, not letting ourselves say it.
Oh, nice.
But no, and then let's see what else. My old band from Atlanta, they're called Ammonia Wash. They just dropped a new song. Go check that out if you like shoegaze and dream pop and stuff like that.
You might have to text that to me.
Yep. And then let's see what else. Drowning Lessons hasn't done like anything since like the beginning of the pandemic, but we did have a song get released through a skate video. There's this guy named...
Who's this?
My band Drowning Lessons. There's a pro skater named Shane Farber, and he skates for Converse, and he's friends with a couple members of Drowning Lessons, and he wanted to use our demo that we had like made like right before the lockdown as a part of his like skate video, and we were like, yeah, sure. So that was like, we have like almost like a whole like LP of demos like made, but we haven't like done anything with them. But we had this one that was like pretty much completed, and we were like, yeah, we can like go and re-record it if you want to. He was like, nah, man, I kind of like how it is. So we just like sent him the demo, and they put it in a fucking Converse skate video, and we got free shoes. It was dope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's all the plug-in I got.
All right, dude. Awesome. Well, thank you so much being the first guest on the Fight Song podcast.
Dude, thank you.
Nice wrestling belt you got in the back that I'm just noticing.
Hold on, let me get it. It's my
and a Death Wish shirt. Shout out Death Wish Records.
All Elite, baby.
What? No, that's the wrong one, but
AE Dub.
Hell yeah. All right. Well,
my headphones are acting up now. Shit.
Is that what that is? You keep hitting yourself in the side of the head.
No. This phone keeps on going in and out, so you just kind of have to like smack yourself in the fucking head.
Been wondering what that is. That's funny. All right. Well, Thank you for talking, bro. Love you.
Of course.
I'll
Love
see
you too, bro.
in August, probably.
Hell yeah.
For Bad Fest.
But yeah,
right.
no, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Sweet. Well, thank you, man.
Thank you, man.